Welcome to week 3 of our Shakespeare class. And I just want to say I am impressed that everybody is staying up, doing the work mostly. I think that the verdict will be in today. But pretty much everybody seems to be staying up. I've had not even as many, like direct contacts. How do I do this? What do I do? I hope that everybody that's contacted me has found that we have solved every single problem together and made it all work. I did get a ton of messages, some private and some in the forums about just from you guys were super kind. You were like, I love listening to the Shakespeare while reading it and then hearing the smart annotated features, the commentary as we went through Twelfth Night. And I'm so grateful because as I said in my very embarrassing first video where I talked about that strange Hamlet moment that I had, but that's how I got it. Obviously, I didn't have that interceding commentary, but Hamlet was so rich for me, so absolutely rich, and it just popped over because of the method. I mean, so what we're doing here is kind of moving Shakespeare from unfamiliar to absolutely familiar to inside. This week, we're diving into a tragedy. We're diving into the tragedy of Julius Caesar. And we're going to use the exact same sort of method to make ourselves familiar with this work. We're going to be reading, he said, pointing to his ear. Thanks, Chris. Reading a version while listening to, again, those same geniuses with their commentary, that same group of people. Those are like 5 or 7 scholars who write that script, and then the very talented voice actor who reads it, and of course the actors who perform and help us make sense of the characters, motives and their mood. And, that's really what I want to talk about. I think even what I'm about to say applies both to Twelfth Night and Julius Caesar and to, honest to goodness, every other play by Shakespeare and to most literature. The most important feature that we have to keep our eye on, our mind on, as we enjoy Shakespeare is who wants what from whom. Now, somebody in the forum comments wrote, "How fun to start with a comedy! It really reminded me of a romantic comedy. It was so interesting." Da, da, da. Anyway, I really loved that, and yes, and that having been said, it was filled with these interweaving threads, which is also a feature of the Julius Caesar play, and it was also filled with manipulators and the manipulated, okay? Liars and the lied to. Reading William Shakespeare really allows us an opportunity to get inside of a world so that we can then kind of turn around and look at our own world of lying manipulators and the people that they lie to. So get ready for a great play. And I'm not going to go on and on. I'm at 4 minutes already, and I'm trying to cut down these intros because there's another intro. It's another audio intro. Also, just to say thank you to a student that got in touch with me and said it would be easier for me if the introduction part was not in the same audio file as the annotated play audio. And so I've separated out those this time so that we have that separated. We have the introduction. So that's something that you can open up on Monday, say. Anyway, on Monday, you'll open it up. This link will be at the top, and then I'll go look, okay? And then try not to take all of our time. Where is everything now? Okay. So we are in week 3 and due Monday introductory audio for Julius Caesar. So there's that. And then I'm looking at something, so I'm like, sometimes I'm like, why is that grayed out? Then there is another piece of additional audio for the B and A contracts. So just to say, and then, but that's like grayed out to me because I'm not in the contracts anyway. Forgive me for like not knowing what was happening there. It's just all new and a little confusing for everybody. So when you text me, when you call, I'm totally down with it. I really am. I'm like, oh, let's solve that, So let's get in there. And then it says due Tuesday, multiple choice questions for Julius Caesar introduction. So for people contracting for the C, you'll just be using the introductory audio and you'll make those multiple choice questions. Just what do you feel is the most important, for us to remember in a Shakespeare class? When I ask you to make these multiple choice questions, I want you to be fair to the other students, which is nothing super obscure, the most obscure and maybe not central feature. We're not trying to trick anybody. And these are quizzes and tests that you'll face. So you guys are creating that material for yourselves. By doing that, what you're doing is studying it as well. So you're studying the material while you're making it. And I hope you enjoy that too. I hope it becomes a memorably good feature for you. Students contracting for the A and B will also be writing questions about that additional background text that is also linked to there. And then, by the way, Monday and Tuesday, that's not a super long audio, and writing those questions, it's not a ton of, I think it's a lighter week because we're not covering the general background anymore. You guys have that general background. Wednesday, we have an open Wednesday. The life and death of Julius Caesar, the text. And that's the text. It's annotatable. Certainly will be, as long as you're logged into your Lynn Benton Community College address. And then open Wednesday, audio with commentary. Now this time, that audio, the opening, it'll be linked. Not linked, but synced. It'll be synced up right at the beginning. So you click that audio, it'll start with the opening of the play. And notice there's no assessment piece. There's nothing really due Wednesday and 30 except for your experience of this material. And you've already hey, you have successfully completed a play. According to the C-level contract, that's literally 1/3 of the plays that you're reading, according to the C-level. That means that your workload, my students contracting for the C, gets remarkably much lighter in week 6 for this class so that you can concentrate and succeed in other courses. I would like to just point out, if people are already kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the term, by their work, by other circumstances, I can change your contracts. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, A's can go to B's or C's or whatever. You can change that to make your life easier. And I was really sort of parsing out what the rest of the term looks like. And C students they'll have a little bit of work that'll take them deeper into the first 3 plays, but according to the contract, I can't give them another play. We do, of course, have an epic poem that we're going to read, so that's for everybody. But the rest of us are reading a couple more plays. B-level people are just reading one more, and then A-level reading people are reading another play. So 5 for them. I hope that it's obviously not a shock as everybody read that contract. But again, if you do have questions, get in touch with me. I can change that. All right, so open Wednesday audio commentary, and then due Friday. This is it. So this is another assignment where you submit a Google document. Due Friday, annotate Julius Caesar document with paraphrases from audio commentary. It's pretty simple. You guys were great at it, in fact. And in these instructions, I left you what I like. I mean, a set of somebody going for the C contract just did one comment per act. It was straightforward, simple. What I really liked about those comments was that student's personal engagement with that material. I could kind of feel like a little bit of excitement, like that's where we're going. And I'm hoping that everybody will start to kind of get that, like that this approach, distanced as it is, what I try to do with students when they're in my class is that we read this work together, and there are things that we're unable to do during this class. But if I can start that fire of passion for Shakespeare in you, then you're going to have such a much better time down in Ashland. Boy, and that's going to be part of my new work, because I'm going to try to start organizing Ashland trips for Shakespeare students or anybody. But right now is not the time to organize trips to Ashland, because Ashland's didn't happen and may not happen again next summer. So whatever. We'll just take it one day at a time, like we are. Anyway, thanks so much for the many kind comments about the audio style of this. I'm glad that it's easier, because you know what? I remember being perplexed by Shakespeare, and that I can deliver it to you in a way that just slowly makes you better at reading it. Trust me, as you read this second play, sort of the little tiny pieces of Shakespearean English, like Anne. Anne is if. Like, and I were to do this, then that. And that, even something so simple as that use of in, it used to really throw me off. Now it doesn't. All right, so that's this week. Have a great week 3. And I now get to go and push this button.